Have you ever been trying to beat a personal best or even some world record and wondered, why can't I do it? Maybe you take the corners in different ways, yet it all seems the same speed despite the fact there is actually some difference. Maybe you drive a lap that feels way better but is actually much slower. I understand, and it's exactly why this video exists. I want to help you understand why you're faster or slower, and the easiest way to do this is not to analyze replay files, but to follow a ghost car. And you might be wondering, yeah, but ghost cars don't work. I've tried them before, they just don't appear. Well, you've been doing it wrong, and I'm gonna finally set the record straight today and show you how to actually activate the ghost cars on a touge. So let's get into it. So first of all, to start with, check if you actually have a ghost car existing already, because if you do, it will complicate things a bit. Simply go to the folder of whatever track you're dealing with, and if you don't know where it is, you can go to Content Manager and right click, or well, left click on the dots and go to folder, and this is the name of the track that I'm dealing with. So I go to my documents and go through here, find this folder, and then this is where all the ghost cars are. So now that we're in this folder, this is where you can see if you have a actual ghost car or a blank ghost car. If you have any ghost cars that are 1 kilobyte, they look like this, then this means that you set your ghost car on the very first lap on your hot lap session. So if you go into the game right now, drive 1 lap and beat whatever ghost car, or you simply set one, it's not going to actually record anything. So if you plan on using this ghost car in the future, make sure you drive 1 lap first and then actually attempt to beat whatever lap you're trying to. Otherwise, you'll just get nothing. So if you see a blank ghost car, there's really no reason not to delete it, and if you see one that does work, then pay attention to the file size, because the bigger the file size is, the longer the ghost car is recorded for, and that's going to matter in a minute. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to set the ghost car and do this tutorial on a track that I've never actually done a lap on, so you can see the full process of how it's done, and I'll do a SIBO because it's a touge map, it's a mod, and it's short so I can get my point across quickly. Another thing I'd recommend is also going to Settings, Content Manager, Drive, and enabling this checkbox, because if you have this on, then even if the ghost car is disabled in the drive menu, like you're not actually trying to have it in your way while racing, but you still want to improve the ghost car, then it will still record better ghost car laps. The second thing I'd like to mention is also assetto corsa system. Down here you can change what the ghost car looks like. These are my settings, so if you don't like it taking up too much of the screen, you can set the opacity really low or change the color. And then lastly, in Custom Shaders Patch General Settings, you've also got some options down here where you can use the original car look, as in it's not just a transparent ghost, if you want to race yourself, so to speak, and there's some extra options here if you're into that. That aside, you can actually go ahead and set up whatever you want to do and start the game. Now what you'll want to do at this point is you'll want to drive a lap to start with. Now don't drive a very good lap, because you'll need to beat this, as I said, the very first lap you drive is completely useless as a ghost car and doesn't record anything. Once you've driven your second lap, just restart back to pits and then go again for the second one. Now that I've driven a much better lap the second time, this is when the ghost car will actually become active. But it won't become active just yet. You first need to start the lap countdown, so drive to the start, and once the timer starts ticking, that's when the ghost car is actually active. Now at this point, you just have to wait. Yes, you have to wait, because the ghost car will not show up until after a while of time. And the longer you take to get your ghost car lap in, the longer this is going to take. So pretty much just wait around the start until eventually the ghost car pops in, and then once it does, wait until the ghost car crosses the start line, and note the time of the lap when it does. This will be important in a minute once it actually appears, which I'm going to skip ahead because I have no idea how long this is going to take. And here's the ghost car. So, one thing to note is that the ghost car that appears initially is not always going to be the exact ghost car. So in this case, just keep watching until eventually you find the ghost car that will actually finish the lap. because it will include any restarts you have. Once you cross the line the first time, it will record the ghost car all the way until you cross the line the second time. So if you restart the lap, let's say hundreds of times without ever actually finishing one, you'll have to sit through your hundreds of restarts to find the exact right time. Now that I've got this ghost car here, all I need to do is find out exactly when it crossed the start line, and if you forget when, you can simply go back and recross the start line to reset the countdown, which I'm going to do because I'm a dumbass and I forgot when exactly it crossed the starting line. So the starting line is basically right by these signs, so I just have to wait for it again. 1 second, please. Here it is once again, and just look at the lap time as it crosses these fences or signs, and it's about 23 seconds. So, now that I have this information, I need to exit, go to Content Manager, and set the ghost car advantage to 23 seconds. Or in this case, I'll set it to 24 so it's slightly ahead of me, because I would rather chase it than simply have it on top of me. Once you load in, just repeat the initial steps, drive 1 lap, make sure not to beat the ghost car on accident, and then you'll see the magic happen. Now that I've finished the initial lap once again, if I return to pits, the ghost car should be right in front of the start point. And there it is, if you can see it. And there you go, you've officially got your working ghost car. Now you can follow it to try and beat your laps, or you can simply tandem drift with it, race against it, if you have no friends like me and I'm socially anxious or whatever. So yeah, that's about it. Now, if you happen to have a pre-existing ghost car, all you need to do is just repeat the part where you drive 1 lap and then wait for it to appear and then set the advantage time. That's basically it. If you update your ghost car, then all you need to do is exit the game, reset the ghost car advantage, drive 1 lap, and then wait for it to appear and then reset the advantage time to whatever that may be. The only bugs I am aware of is that if you enter the replay or let the ghost car finish a lap, you will have to redrive a lap initially before it starts up again. So if you enter replay, you have to drive 1 lap, and then the next lap it'll reappear on. You can't just immediately restart it. And as for disadvantages, it is pressure. So if you're driving a very solid fast lap, the ghost car will most likely be eating your ass in the rear mirror. So if you are susceptible to pressure like that, then you will not want to look in your mirror. So either don't use interior cam or use hood cam or bumper cam without virtual mirror turned on, which is F11 key, and then you can just ignore it otherwise. Now, if you set a ghost car that you want to be backed up, then basically just go to the ghost car location, copy whatever the ghost car is, and ideally set the advantage time, so if you ever want to reuse this and forget what the advantage is, you don't have to wait potentially 10-20 minutes or however long to find out what the advantage is to reuse it again. So if I have let me use an actual proper example here. Let's go to Assetto, get my ghost car. So it's a 24-second advantage, and the lap time was 1:59 or something, so I can say 1:59, 23-second advantage. And now I know that it's a 1:59 lap time, and the advantage to use it is 23 seconds. It's as simple as that. I have no idea because I have no people to test it with. Sorry. Now that you've got the ghost car on your side, I hope you can find some understanding and some relief, as a racer, there's nothing I can think of that I hate more than not being able to beat a lap that I don't even understand why I can't. So if this helped you, then leave a like if you want, subscribe even maybe, though you'll probably never see another video from this channel that you'll like again, and I'll see you in the next decade or something. Peace.